From politics and governance to economy and security, all concerns we have in Nigeria is what we discuss on the Diamond Breakfast Show, and we'll break down some of these top stories and we'll suggest practical solutions to them. Well, don't go away. This program is going to run from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I am your host, OMONIKE BABATUNDE. I'll be your guide for the next 1 hour. You're welcome. Welcome, Nigerians. Welcome, Quarrens. All right, so what will be our focus for today? Our focus today will begin with the call to sack unproductive ministers, even though the parameters for measuring performance are yet to be clearly defined. Then the painful death of a young Ifunaya after a snake bite, a case where anti-venom reportedly become available only after public outreach, but not in time to save our life is one of the things we'll focus on today. And then yet another case of alleged torture and right violation in police custody, costing the life of a young Patrick. While the police have denied the allegation, the big question still remains, will proper investigation be conducted? Because the brother Destiny has, dropped a 20-minute video, stating what happened, what transpired, and led to the death of his brother Patrick. Well, today on the show, I ask, why does accountability always arrive late in this country? I'm not alone this morning. I am joined by Engineer Jacobs Omotayo. We'll be having a delightful conversation this morning. You're welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, listeners at home.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on, sir. All right, let's go for the first focus of the day. Now, a support group within the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, they call themselves the APC League of Democrats. They made a call in a statement on Monday by the national coordinator, that's Honorable Babajide Oyewole, and their secretary, Chief Roland Okonko, and they called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to reshuffle his cabinet and remove ministers allegedly sabotaging his government, warning that delays could affect the party's chances in the 2027 general election. And the group, they described the cabinet reshuffle as, long overdue, and, they want immediate removal of some of these unperforming ministers in the cabinet. There you have it. And, is it really possible to have some ministers just removed, from the cabinet, or so to say? But then let me take your view, engineer, on this. A call to have, unproductive ministers sacked. How do you see this? That's within the party now, a call within the party to sack still people within the party that are performing. How do you see this?
Well, in the group of people, you know that social system is what brings people together, and in that social system, you find the socialization, playing a very important role. In this role, you find people coming together. The APC happens to be a dragnet now, to mop up political fishes everywhere. And then you find them coming into the same net. And coming into that net, you find a lot of tricks and intrigues, playing out. One person or group of persons trying to outshine others, or trying to put others into spotlight to make people see if they are actually performing or not. But thank God, this is coming from the hot pot of soup of Nigeria today, because APC happen to be the hot pot where everybody wants to dip their hands and pick something.
Have a bite.
Now that's been that. I want to say that the call is good, and I wouldn't say it's long overdue, but I would say it's good. In this cabinets of President Tinubu, I can tell you sincerely, I have not seen more than 3 of these ministers that have been as effective as we want them to be. Sometimes performance can come with so many things, the challenge of health, the challenge of technical know-how, the challenge of knowing exactly what the people need, and then the felt need of the people. So when you look at all this put together,
yes,
that it could either make or mar the performance of any minister.
Okay.
Is it a minister that was living in Nigeria before, or the minister that was brought from somewhere far away that does not know anything that's happening in Nigeria to talk of how to improve it? No. So you see some of these ministers come on air to talk, and you find them talking jargons. Just recently, Minister for Power, and he came up and was saying all sort of. So some people are not fit to be in that position, truly. And you see, let me just create this background to tell you that we politicians are the ones killing this country. The politicians are the ones killing Nigeria. We have technocrats among them. We have those who have seen politics as their main profession. They have put every other business aside and see, because he's the one that is paying the most. He's paying the most.
Oh, well.
How will somebody have billions in his accounts, knowing fully well that his salary, he knows how much his salary is? So by the time they are there, they just feel like going there and taking whatever they think they can take for themselves, and then walking away at the end of the day. So it's not about performance. It's about it's about patronage, and it's about somebody being a party person and being the difference between a party person and the person that really wants to work, the gap is so wide. Can you see the former minister for defense? Can you see him? Can you see the new minister of defense? Can you see the difference? The difference is glaring. Is too much. It's too much to be described. So if you now find ministers of that mindset coming to coming to the center stage, you will see what will happen. Wike has his own shortcomings, but go and see what Wike is doing in Abuja. I'm not a praise singer, but I can tell you, I can mention only 3 that I have seen that are performing. And how many of them? I think there are about 40 or so. I don't know their number anymore because we've lost count. It's no longer some degree of super state where you find 3 coming from one state and the other. So we don't even know the parameters that is being used to bring them out. But the truth of the matter is, we have a lot of ministers that are not performing. And I think the best thing for a president that knows what he is doing will need to let them go.
All right, but if we're going to look at the parameters now, what are the parameters you think needs to be put in place to define, a productive minister and unproductive one? And again, how do we even distinguish? Because if we look at it, at some point in time, I had to search. Is there any KPI, indicator that helps us to navigate, or the government to know, okay, who is doing well according to some parameters or not? But then I couldn't see any. Probably it's not transparent to the citizens. But then, what are the parameters you think needs to be put in place in order to have?
The parameters that need to be put in place is the parameter is taking people from where they are to where they ought to be.
Okay,
that is my own parameter. My parameter is what did you meet, and how did you meet them? Then what are you thinking about? What are you thinking of doing to make sure people's lives are better? See, the bottom line of governance is making people's life better. Get them from poverty to wealth. Do we have any? Do we have any? I used to ask people when we talk. I said, look at Nigeria. Do we have any business with poverty? The answer is no. But are we in poverty?
Yes.
Oh, 98%. Now, what exactly are these funds doing? If you see people go to FAC meetings and then you see them distributing humongous amount of money. And this money is going to the hands of these same people we're talking about. The hand of the governors, the hand of the ministers, the hand of the commissioners, the hand of this or that. It is still their hands. And they are not up to 1% of Nigerians. And yet, they are living very large. And then people are living in abject poverty. You need to go to the interiors. Go to communities that are in the interiors. Go and look at them. Go and see the kind of lifestyle they are living. Right. They have little to nothing to show that they are Nigerians. Why can't we be proud to be Nigerians? Why can't we be proud to live in our country? Right. Why must everybody get out of this country to get their life to get their lives back. Yeah, so much has been taken from us. Little has been given to us. Should they take so much and give us little? The answer is no. So the one thing is that sincerity in governance is not actually there.
Right.
People, what is manifesto in what you are talking about? Where is the manifesto? And what is the manifesto talking about? Are they sticking to the manifesto? I'm not here to castigate government, but I'm saying that people's lives are not better. Okay?
Yes.
You talking about petroleum products. Of course, for crying out loud, is a free gift of nature. It's free. So many things that we have that are in Nigeria today, they are free. Can you imagine a bag of cement for 10,000 plus naira that is gotten from somewhere for free? For you to just mill it and bag it, and then you tell us this is how much it costs. So you make building a house for an ordinary person much more difficult. You make doing business for people much more difficult. How much will a person that is selling cement get as profit on a bag of cement? What goes to A, what goes to B, what goes to manufacturer, what goes to the seller at the end of the day. So the fact of the matter is we are supposed to be scoring government based on how our life was and how it is right now. Is my life better than when this government came to power? The answer is no. The answer is no.
Oh, well.
I'm talking of personally now. Now, if you talk about ask people who don't even have the means that I have, then tell them, is it better for them or otherwise today? So government must take is it not in the constitution that the well-being of the people must be taken as utmost priority. If that is what it is, and if that is what they have sworn to uphold,
yes,
going to government and to governance, then are they doing it? If they are doing it, what is the score? Over 100. Because any child that goes to school must know that he or she will write an examination. Their own examination is supposed to be the polling booth where we will vote them in or vote them out.
Oh, well.
That is the polling booth.
But is that really the polling booth now?
You said what?
Is that the polling booth? Is it the scorecard now?
It's supposed to be the examination point.
But
we will mark their script and give them their. But let us pray that the body gives us what we have actually given them.
All right, let's go on a very short timeout. When we're back, I'm going to ask one more question, then we'll take your reaction to this particular focus of the day that we have. My next question will be about, strategy. Do you see this as a form of political strategy, more or less, ahead of the 2027 election? Well, don't go away. We'll be back after this very short break. And the number to send your messages to on WhatsApp is 091 36 55 6864. Don't go away, please.
Diamond 88.7 FM.
Better be iron and care. Be good for your body. Yeah. Are you not aware? Quality day for yeah. Now your daily friend. For your blood, if it 10 over 10. Oh, yes. Feel your bed. Join to it on past the test. Blood builder for everybody. Healthy body for everybody. Erupina, product of feeds in healthcare.
Diamond FM, your one-step dial.
All right, you're still tuned in to the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 of Ilori, and I am OMONIKE BABATUNDE. I still have Engineer Jacob Somotayo in the house with me. Well, before we went on that break, I said I'm going to ask one or two more questions before we, take your reaction in the house. So this morning, well, I said, the 2027 election is in view already. Do you think this might be probably a political strategy? I don't want to say internal crisis already probably brewing one way or the other in APC, for the faction to have come out to say we need you to reshuffle cabinet, but then knowing that they have less than, a year, with more to say, or less than a few months to go, still on that seat, do you think it's a feasible idea, reshuffling cabinets now? That's 3 or 4 more questions in one now. Do you think this is a feasible idea, reshuffling cabinets right now at this point in time? And then do you think it is a political strategy one way or the other ahead of the coming election?
Well, I would say that in the Committee of Human Beings, you find a lot of tricks and intrigues playing out. And then in this context that they are, you find that, I said the other time, that APC is now the famous bride,
yes,
in the political space of Nigeria. And then you find a lot of people coming in, most of them strange bedfellows, coming in, be pretending to be friends. And then you find out that even within that circle, you find them wranglings, and then you find them political permutations happening here and there. See some people grouping and regrouping is taking place. And then you begin to find in that grouping and regrouping, you will find compromise, you will find hesitations, you will find conflicts. So when you see these things brewing, naturally, what happened to PDP can happen to any political party. APC is on the waiting list to have its own. And then you find out that when things like this happen, you find people trying to pitch their tent. Everybody is trying to to thy tent, Israel. Everybody is trying to pitch his tent too. And then it is where it is sweetest the most, or where you
favorable.
think because people in politics believe so much in interest.
Yes.
Not in the people. They believe so much in the interest. That is, they say they have permanent interest, not friend. So that is the same way they are dealing with us. They want their permanent interest is much more paramount than the people.
All right. So let's take reaction from our listeners this morning before we go for the next focus of the day. 091-3655-6952. The number to call 091-3655-6952. Please be precise and do not make your contribution lengthy. Thank you so much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome, sir.
I'm Alaji Tayo.
You're welcome, Alaji.
Firstly, there's no any KPI to reach the ministers because the appointment is not even based on either they will perform or not. But it's a function of I want to compensate those who have helped me to win the election. And if anybody is now talking about reshuffling the cabinet now, it's a way of trying to see who we add value to electionary process that is about after 2027. That is why they want to change cabinet so that they will juggle and see who can make value, who can add value to our popularity. Then again, you talk about them not giving us dividend of the money despite the monstrous amount of money they receive now. It's just because they don't have our interest at heart. Many of them today, what they're after is how they win 2027 election. That preoccupies them more than any other thing now. I see this will not be the case. If your government perform well, if your center performs well, if the House of Representatives perform, you don't need to go to anywhere before we vote for you again. But just because they are only interested in their own life and their cronies, that's why they don't care about what happens to us. And with the electorate too, we have not learned our lesson. When the election comes around, by the time they begin to grease our pound with a patry, so a small amount of money, we begin to change loyalty and begin to vote for those who have impacted on our life. So it's the same time the electorate know what they are doing. At the same time, our electorate will do better things for us so that Nigeria will progress and Nigeria will move forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alaji. Thank you for your contribution. Here says, good morning, OMONIKE and analyst. Ministerial appointment is a dividend of political struggles and not by merit. That is why we're not recovering progress in many ministries. I doubt that call will be put to action unless they have political fallout. R.O. Ekundayo. Thank you for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. You're welcome, sir.
Morning, engineer.
Good morning, sir. Morning.
This officer calling.
You're welcome, officer.
On the issue on ground, like the first caller said, ministerial appointment is for those that help the president to win the presidency. It's not the best among us. So that's just the basic fact. And I would like to disagree with our engineer in the house.
Okay. On what, sir?
Yes. Although we may not be feeling what the president is doing at present, but at least there are some level of improvement in the economy. The problem we're having are the governors. The governors are the major problem of the people, of the masses in this country. Because this money is being generated and is being shared to them, but they are not letting the money get to the masses. They should ask of local government money. If local government money is going directly to the local government, the people will mobilize themselves and go to the chairman's house. They know the parents of the, but how many of us will leave and go to the government house? That's the basic fact. So the government are the problem.
All right. Thank you so much, Officer. Thank you, Officer Mutu, for your contribution. Yes, as I celebrate you, our presenter and the guest, I was going to mention using manifesto when you ask the guest what should be the parameter for ministerial performance. This should be met by governors and presidents as well. Once they're unable to meet up to 70% of the manifesto, they should be sent on exile. Exile, okay. No jokes. Femi from Amsterdam. Thank you so much, Mr. Femi, for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, you're welcome.
This is Dr. Olamide.
You're welcome, Doctor.
Exponent, calling from Itakure.
You're welcome.
God bless you abundantly.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
My engineer in the studio.
Thank you, sir.
I want to talk on a very better truth, so mentioned by our engineer in the studio.
Okay.
He said that politicians are the ones killing Nigeria. It is truth. And some of the ministers are not fit to be minister because no sincerity in governance. So, and finally, so part of it is corruption.
Okay.
We need to kill corruption in Nigeria. So corruption is the root cause of every hardship. So we are facing now in Nigeria.
All right.
And according to our officer, he said that our governors are our problems. So the monies are reaching the governor. They didn't allow the money to be impactful on the masses in the state. So there are problems also. So I want to support the comment of our analyst and the comment of the officer. Dr. Lande, God bless you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Well, as much as we're blaming the government, we're also partakers. We're all stakeholders in this problem. I hope we know that mama that in the market that is inflating price is also contributing. That is it driver that is inflating price? You know you're supposed to take it. There's no increase in probably fuel price, but then you're making probably short distance about 500 naira. You're also a part of the problem. So it trickles down to us as well. We're all part of this problem. We're stakeholders of the problem in Nigeria. 09136556952. We need to be good people in order for us to be able to call our government, to account. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome. What's your name?
Hi, Mr. Peter Fonelore.
You're welcome, sir.
Please, I don't want people to stop blaming the governors.
Okay.
Not the governors, the federal government. The ones that are giving those governors money because they need a political assistance from them. The president knows what he's doing. He wanted to support him in the detriment of the sovereign of poor masses of Nigeria. So they know what they are doing.
Okay.
It's the federal that are causing the problem. The fact of giving the governors in need as political assistance from them to win the election. That's why it's swapping this money to them, and they're not supporting the poor masses of the state. So let us stop blaming the governors. When we have a right person in the the federal government, he will take care of all those things. If you're not giving them money, I know what to do to the poor masses of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. All right, here it says, good morning, the anchor and the analyst. The rejigging of the president's federal ministers is long overdue. Some of the president's ministers are not performing well in their various ministries. The president should, as a matter of urgency, reshuffle the ministers and bring highly competent hands to handle the various ministries where nothing tangible is happening there. As citizens, we know the ministers who are performing well and those who are docile since they've been appointed ministers. Mr. Samuel from Airport Road. Thank you so much, sir. And yeah, it says that's Kolade Ayinde. He listed out some of the things that needs to be put in place, talking about the state government needs to be self-sustaining and electricity, and talking about management of the particular position. Thank you so much, Kolade Ayinde. And yes, says good morning, DBS Golden Voice. Good morning, my engineer. In every administration, you always find those who are ineffective, and we also have those who do not know the reality of the position they are called to hold. I think the lady who was appointed to monitor those ministers' performance will help the president by coming up with evaluation performances of each minister. However, there are those who are appointed for strategic reasons and political patronage. Such appointees are to help. The president or governor will appoint them, rake in various votes during elections. Now that a group has come out to raise that issue, the onus now lies on the president to take a look at it. Winning election in Nigeria is not as difficult as getting the right people to work with. That is why I laugh at politicians who are promising to be laying eggs every day for Nigerians. Elva Yemi Hasaju, thank you so much. And yet says the resolve of some of the ministers is long overdue. The essence of these ministers is to improve the lives of the people within Nigeria, though a few of these ministers are performing, and the effect of their office is felt by the populace. Without mentioning names, Mr. President himself knows who among them is doing well and working towards the well-being of the people, although there are very few in number. But feeding excessive fat at the expense of the poor masses, worst of all, is that our governors are given the opportunity to nominate the ministers from each state. Prince Bankole Owakajola, thank you so much. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, you're welcome, sir.
God bless you. You never die young, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
This is from that journey.
You're welcome, Mr. Godwin.
Moderator.
Yes, sir.
Let us talk less about politics, our government. See, take care of the welfare of the masses.
Okay.
People are dying every day.
All right.
It's a shame in this country. No drug for snake bite.
All right.
For that matter.
Thank you, Mr. Godwin. We'll get to that conversation very, very soon. Thank you so much.
I think a lot of things have been highlighted here. You see, the crop of it all is that when you have good government, everybody will see it. It's not rocket science. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
I said go to the hinterland and see the people there. Are they being taken care of? Even in the city that we have now, is everybody getting what they're supposed to get from government? There's so many things. You said talk about health, talk about even youths, talk about sports, talk about education. These are very basic, fundamental things that government is supposed to be looking at. You know, how much of it has been improved?
How much of it?
It's
God help us.
It's in the open.
Oh, well, God help us in Nigeria. We keep saying God help us, but then we need to take action, and that's by casting your vote in the coming election. Make sure you use your vote as much as you can. Let's go on a very short timeout, and when we're back, we'll go in for the next contribution. But before I do, let me take this very message that I have it. Okay, let's go on a very short break. When I'm back, we'll go in for this next focus. Don't go away, please.
Diamond FM, your one-step dial.
My fellow country people, I hope say you don't hear about health insurance policy wey Kwara government dey talk about today. The information are confirm and the thing good for you and me as a person and as family. This health insurance, e dey for everybody, for papa and mama. This health insurance also dey for people wey get HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, even pikin under 5 years, plus including pregnant women. Me and my family don register with just small money. My friend, you fit go any hospital where they do health insurance, whether na public or private hospital. Pay small money and register sharply. With that money where you pay for your family, it go cover you for 1 year. Now so the thing be, if you love yourself and this beautiful woman and pikin, go register and get your health insurance coverage so that you no go pay too much when sickness come. You fit call this number for free. Then no go come out your money, your 080-010-010 again 01, or go to House 27B Amado Bello Way, GRA for Ilorin. This message now from Kwara State Health Insurance Agency.
Diamond FM, radio made for you. Diamond FM, radio made for you.
You're welcome back from that break. You're still tuned in to FM 88.7 from Ilori. I am OMONIKE. Babatunde, let me take this message before we go in. Here it says, we're all part of the problem. From Ilori to Sarag is skyrocketed from 150 to 1,500 naira to 2,500 naira, even after the fuel price was reduced. Is it the fault of the government? No. Well, the cause. God bless you. Israel from Tanke. Thank you so much, Israel. All right, now let's go for the second focus of the day. This has to do with Naya, a 26-year-old classical jazz and soul singer who died on Saturday after she was reportedly beaten by a cobra at a residence at Lugbe in the Federal Capital Territory. And the brother, Kingsley Unwagene, he narrated what happened, the final moment of his sister following the snake bite. And he said he was on the phone with her all through, just as she moved from Lugbe to the Federal Medical Center at Jabi. And then, eventually when she went to the FMC, that's a Federal Medical Center where, he spoke about the fact that they lacked antivenom and, they failed to attend to her sister properly. And there are several speculations. Well, she got to the Federal Medical Center just some minutes to 10 a.m. And, after a while, he stopped talking to her, especially when she was being admitted and, given drip. There are several outrages and several controversies that's been going on about this particular case of Naya. And in a statement now that's been issued by the clinic, Dr. Bioku Muftau, head of the clinic service at the management of the FMC Abuja, defended the medical team, and he said the hospital maintained that Naya was attended to immediately upon arrival. And in his word, I quote, he says, medical staff provided immediate and appropriate treatment, including resuscitation effort, intravenous fluid, intranasal oxygen, and the administration of polyvalent snake antivenom. And he says, that the singer suffered severe neurotoxic complications, which led to a rapid decline. But then the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has issued a firm assurance that life-saving antivenom was fully stocked and, accessible across, it has to be accessible across all its health facilities. And if any hospital fails to have it, there will be sanctions. Well, there we have it. We say, may her soul rest in peace. Well, engineer, let's talk about this now. The outrage going on and talking about, in our present situation, we're still going to talk on the failure of the government, I believe, again, knowing that, antivenoms are not available. Some said not available. Some said, no, the clinic is saying they have it. They attended, accordingly as they should to this particular lady. But then let me take your view. What's your overview of all this happening?
I want to say that the first thing there was, I think I read that news, and then what was the news was that that snake had been sighted before in the same place, in that compound.
Yeah.
And you see, for me, I feel that the moment you sight a poisonous, dangerous snake like that in the environment, you don't rest on your oars until such is killed or eliminated from the environment.
Yeah.
So I think to some extent, there's this degree of negligence on the part of the people. When they find such a thing, I will advise that if such a thing is found in the environment, everything possible must be done to ensure that it did not escape, that it is killed.
Yeah.
That so that's number one. We have we have that kind of story in Ilorin not too long ago.
Okay.
That almost two people died from the same compound to snake bites. There's no snake, that kind of snake coming into the house through the WC. That is on one hand. And it's very sad and very painful for someone who didn't fall sick, who was not bedridden, and then just died like that. Everybody, people dying like that is painful. And then we should not see it as something very, very, because that kind of death is such a traumatic one for the individual. And I think government also would have to compel, individuals and homes to fumigate their environment. They need to fumigate their environment, their compound. Seeing objects like this animals like this in the environment is not safe to remain there when you have started anything like that.
Yeah.
And then on the part of the government too, I think the last resort is the anti-venom thing. The ones I mentioned are those first aid things that must be done.
Yes.
And I think government also need to train people on how to give first aid to people who have these kind of issues. Maybe you have to tie a place. Maybe you have to do something. Maybe you have to, at least there will be one or two things that people can do to keep those people alive until they begin to receive normal treatment.
All right.
What government can do is to make sure that within reachable distance, because this thing works very fast, within the sake of 41 hours, such an individual may have died. So I think government should make sure that reachable distance where such treatment can be, administered very quickly is advised.
Okay.
The unfortunate thing is that government will talk, but they will not act. Most of the time, talk is easy, but making sure that those things which I said are done is left to be seen. And I think it's better for people to, maybe we'll have NGOs to monitor these hospitals to see if they really have those things or not.
All right.
Because if they don't have it, then I think there's still more to come, because these things are just, they're everywhere.
All right. But then again, the Senate says they've called on the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare to develop and enforce national guideline mandating minimum stock level of essential antidotes. Now, Engineer, how realistic is this? Because according to what I read, some of these antidotes, some of these antivenoms need certain temperature to maintain them. So how realistic is this? Mandating it for some hospitals, some, healthcare stations to have this antivenom, when we know in our present reality, we're still battling with power grid collapsing here and there, collapsing every single month. So how realistic is it to even have this?
I think these days, people rely more on solar power to preserve these things. Most of these, if you go to the rural areas, most of these hospitals and clinics, I think they have installed solar or rechargeable energy to keep their drugs and their other things, in good condition. I believe that looking at this, look at what we have in our hands right now. I think it's important that such facilities be given such power to be able to keep their things. But I think this power grid thing, collapsing today, collapsing tomorrow, we are not out of the woods yet as regards that. So if we are looking at that as the solution to keeping whatever vaccines we have in our hospitals, then I think we are trying to deceive ourselves. We should not deceive ourselves this time. We should be honest with ourselves. Just don't mind those ministers who will sit at the conference room and talk whatever they want to talk and say whatever they want to say, I want to believe that he knows that it didn't go down well with people. He has received a lot of comments, lambasting him on what he said as regards power very recently.
But then do you think that the outrage actually made the Senate to speak out on this, mandating it? But then do you think if youth are more vocal, I'm sorry I'm deviating a little, but then if youth are more vocal about, the pains and the pressure on them, do you think we'll be able to have the same pressure on the Senate to make sure we have some policies in place?
That is what it should ordinarily be, that we lost a soul, a useful soul to the country. We should be on the street, talking about it and letting people know. If they cannot take care of us, being their primary responsibility, we should allow the whole world to know and what we are actually feeling or what we are going through. Has it not happened that some countries outside the shores of Africa are already talking about what is those things that are happening in Nigeria? They are talking about them, and can the government of Nigeria stop them? No, the answer is no. We can only collaborate and then beg them to help us find a way out of it, because if you are fighting insurgency for all this number of years and you are not able to win, and it shows that you're not in a way capable of doing it on your own.
All right. Let's take reaction from our listeners so we can go briefly to the last focus of the day. That's talking about Patrick and Destiny. That's another young soul that's been lost in Nigeria again. All right. 091-3655-6952, the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle.
You're welcome.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Doctor.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
You know, on your first topic, please, everybody must examine him or herself before election and during election.
Okay.
And we want everybody that's a ministerial post to know the opportunity come once. They must do better when they appoint them.
Okay.
And they must know that there is a tenor for everything. Only God don't have tenor. But we human beings, we have tenor. They must perform well. They must. And they know that they are dealing with giant politicians, which is our president, Babatundo.
Okay.
He can release it at any time. But my advice is that they should work very hard. They should be competent in any area.
Right.
On the issue of the snake bite, all the hospitals must have vaccine. They must have equipped
Right.
so that so wounded. God will help us in this nation.
Amen.
Things are fall apart. They are with God.
Thank
all
you.
things are possible.
Thank you so much, Prophetess. Thank you for your contribution. 09136556952 is the number to call. 09136556952. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome, sir.
Delegate, I'm calling from Namibia.
You're welcome, sir.
On the issue of the minister, your guest has said before. But the area I disagree with him is, and many people, we just happen. Which is like president of the country. The only minister who is allowed to spend money, who is not part of single treasury bank. So I've not been asked to Abuja. I don't know how much he is performing. But I think he can do much, much better than that if he concentrates on his job in Abuja. The money available to him. Coming to the issue of a state bribe, in my own estimation, I think that thing happened because the lady delayed the input. I'm picking this from what the brother said, that when that thing happened, his sister called him and told him that he pressed the thing. Later, he saw his snake. It was after then he started moving to hospital. So the problem we have in Nigeria is we always believe in something negative. That because the antivenom drugs were not available as died. To me, personally, I think there was delay in going to. God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. 09136556952. Well, I want us to know that she moved about 3 hospitals before she eventually got attended to after being told there are no antivenoms in some of these hospitals or medical centers she went to. Here says, good morning, Diamond FM. Francis from Olunlade. Sometimes an important message is being passed so we can learn. It's painful for this child to reign in death, but then it's quite sad that even the FMC has no antivenom. But then the message has been passed through death. Now hospitals will make antivenoms available everywhere and people will also take traditional ways serious. Okay, says hospitals should be a place for safety. It should not be a place for careless workers with unruly attitudes. God help us. All right, God help us. So you say here says, kudos to you, DBS. OMONIKE mentioned participating in election. My father, who has been voting since democracy came back to stay, I would like to say, just as an actor posted on Insta, I think our politicians are like cherry. It's so difficult to know which one of them will bring forth the dividend of democracy. Maybe engineer can help us with what to look out for. Femi from Acid. Okay, all right, thank you so much. And yes, says, good morning, Diamond FM. I think for us to get the issue of governance right in Nigeria, we need to open schools where ministers, governors, commissioners, special advisors, House of Reps, senators, and even presidents should go and learn how to govern. Okay, Mr. Ben from Itailepa, but would they actually go to that school if you open it? Yes, says it's highly embarrassing to hear that a standard and well-organized hospital has no anti-snake injection. That is the extent to which the Nigerian government has value for life. I am not surprised, by the way. Hospitals have been handled. Ideally, hospital premises are supposed to be fumigated for at least once a month, saying the least most drug prescribed by our doctors are available for purchase outside the hospital premises. In other words, our hospitals have no drug within the premises. Patients are directed to visit outside chemists when and where lies the dividend of democracy in Nigeria: insecurity, hunger, poverty, unemployment. Hey, Prince Bankole Kajola, thank you so much for your contribution. All right, let's take one more call, then we'll go to the last topic of the day. Hello, you're welcome.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
I'm very sorry for being calling back.
You're welcome, doctor.
This is Dr. Olari Otikesponet calling from Itakure.
You're welcome.
Just wanted to make a very brief comment.
All right, please go
on the
ahead.
issue of snake bite. I wanted to have a pity and say sorry to the family of the late artist. But we must be watchful and be careful anytime we see any danger or harmful something in our environment, and take a necessary step on it. May God spare our lives.
Amen. Thank you so much, Dr. Larry Okiki, for your contribution. And here it says, one of the callers said we should not blame the governors, but the president who is giving the monthly allocation to lavish. Is that correct? He said things can change when the right person gets there. Is that right person a Nigerian or an angel? I want to be educated. Elder Yemi Asaju. Well, the person is not an angel, but then probably I should give engineer a few seconds to respond to that.
Well, I want to say that the president does not have the power to withhold the money. There's a way to do it.
Yes.
They go to the FAC for allocation management and distribution, and then everybody gets his own share of the national cake, take it back home. The management of that fund is now left in the hands of the individual who feels that probably his money is his own, or the money belongs to the community.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, let's briefly talk on the last one. That's talking about the 24-year-old Patrick that allegedly died 6 days after being released from detention facility of the Bayelsa State Police Command. And there's been several controversies, confusion, and again, outrage trailing his death. And his brother Destiny has spoken about how the police officers, NSCDC's officers came to their house, picked them up, and then, took them to one particular officer's house, beat them up, and then took them to the police station where they were further harassed right there at the place. But after 6 days of being, released, then the brother died, which has caused several. I've seen, reactions of probably the guy had some internal issues and eventually, without getting care, had to, but then these are still speculations. But then let me take your overview of this in a few minutes so we can take a recap.
If you have not experienced, this thing before, you will think it's a joke, but it's beyond joke. It's beyond jokes. I have been a victim, in my school days, and then you go to these police stations, see their detention facilities, and then you will be sorry for whoever is kept in there. You find out that the floor has probably been chopped off to a level. You find out that there are tiny holes in the wall where one or two bugs festers, and then you look at somewhere the bucket is kept somewhere, probably where people will go and eat themselves, and it remains there for as long as probably another day. And then I know of these terrible places in Lagos. This police station in Lagos where if you go there, you go to Olosun, go to Banti address of them. You find them, and then you'll be surprised that are these people intending to put human beings here? That is how bad it is.
Yeah, but what is the hope for Nigerian youth if these keep persisting? Every single time we hear youth complaining about just being picked up without knowing the offenses. Because I've tried to get in the offense. I could not lay my hand on it.
There are supposed to be rules of engagement, with the people. That is, I'm talking about the force now, the people. And there's a new police act in town. This police amended act or something that is in town right now. That there are some things that in those days police just catch you for, and then they detain you. They do that, and so I told the police officer very recently that he would need to go and study that act to know the extent of their powers. The issue of landlord and tenant is not a police case. Are you getting my point? The issue of two fighting is not a police case. The issue of I contributed money, they took their own, they have not given me my own. It's not a police case. There's a way to that these things go, that people take laws into their hands, believing that they have the right to bully people, to malign people, they have the right to beat people over and the rest of them because they are in uniform. It doesn't work like that. If we are people that works by rule, our life will be better than this.
All right.
All these years where they have been using extreme force on people, has that made them better?
All right,
no.
Engineer, let's take one reaction before we step out. 30 seconds. You're welcome. Good morning.
God bless you.
You're welcome, sir.
I come back.
All right, 30 seconds.
Journey.
You're welcome.
Everything in this Nigeria is extraordinary.
All right.
May God save us.
Amen.
That must be taken.
All right.
It's a good land. Country, Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Mr. Godwin. Thank you so much. You have 30 seconds. One more reaction, and then we'll go. 09136556952. Here says the detainee might be nursing a terminal disease which was not properly taken care of, or he might have been tortured. Well, it's still speculation, or he might have been tortured under terrible conditions.
Medical report giving us that?
Oh, well, we are still waiting for investigation. But do you think they will be transparent with the investigation they said they're about to conduct? Do you think?
Before he left his home, was he not fine?
It was.
And somebody was beaten up here and there, and then at the end of the day, people develop complications. Do you need to beat people too much to have complications?
All right, here says, good morning, Diamond FM. My 48-hour experience in the police cell was nothing short of biblical hell. I walked insane and came out sick. God save Nigeria. Adekunle from Basin. And here says, I want to ask how our forefathers handle snake bites traditionally and locally before the advent of orthodox medicine. I ask because I don't think it's sensible, logical to wait for or rely on government input for therapy. Otherwise, many more victims could be as good as dead. Richford from GRA, Ilorin.
Not with a spitting cobra.
Oh, well.
That is extremely venomous.
But then there should be a way they went about it back in the days.
Thank God with the modern day.
Okay.
I think they have to put all those things in place.
All right, engineer.
That they are there.
In 10 seconds, in 2 sentences, what will be your final recap for everything we've said today?
I just feel that we should hold people's life. We should see life as a more valuable thing. The way their lives are being lost here shows that the right things are not done, the right people are not in the right place, and then we are just doing the way we like. Right. I believe that if we let people live their life to the fullest, don't kill them before their time.
Don't kill them before their time. A message right there to the government and even to you. Well, you're not left out of it. Just as I used to say, we're all stakeholders when it comes to upholding this government. I remain OMONIKE BABATUNDE, and I say do have a wonderful day. I'll see you at 3 p.m., 5 p.m. and 7:30. Keep listening to them at 88.7 FM. Bye.